The golden eyes of Medusa, their vertical snake-like pupils glittering threateningly, shine while her whispering voice fills the forest clearing. What do you prefer, Alexandros? Give me a child and obtain immortal power, or become another statue in my collection? Her serpents stretch toward me, hissing close to my face. I feel the weight of the vial of Pegasus blood hidden beneath my clothes. My only hope, if what Tiresias told me is true. Around us, hundreds of stone statues watch with eternal terror frozen on their faces. Warriors from every age and nation who, like me, were lured by the promise of power. I see you have been conversing with my pet, Medusa continues, her supernatural beauty now mingling with barely contained fury. Tiresias has always been meddlesome. The snakes of her hair writhe in anger, as though sharing her rage. I decide to be direct, to confront her. Is it true? I ask, pointing at the statues. Were all these warriors like me, your lovers whom you then turned to stone when you no longer needed them? Medusa drifts toward one of the statues, that of an ancient warrior clad in armor I do not recognize. With a gesture of strange affection, she caresses his petrified face. Some betrayed me, she admits with chilling ease. Others simply grew old. A few even tried to kill me while I slept. A cruel smile crosses her face while her sharp-nailed fingers trace the statue's frozen features. Stone is more permanent, she whispers. It gives them eternal purpose. I keep my distance, aware of the weight of the vial against my chest. I feel the Gorgon blood pulsing in my veins, drawing me toward her like a moth to the flame. And what fate awaits me if I agree to give you a child? I ask, trying to buy time. Her movements are fluid as water when she comes closer. Power, she whispers seductively. Perhaps even immortality. Our child would be the firstborn of heroes' blood and monstrosity. A perfect balance, a new beginning. Suddenly, a violent tremor shakes the entire forest. The statues shudder, some even crack. Pieces of stone fall to the ground. What was that? I ask, alarmed. Medusa's face shows something I had not seen before. Genuine fear. Her serpents coil defensively. The Titans stir, she whispers, looking toward the ground. Every time someone with Perseus blood enters my forest, the chains that hold them weaken. Her eyes shine with a new purpose when she looks at me. Now you understand why I need you. It's not just for revenge. She comes closer, her intoxicating scent clouding my senses. The gods cursed me, yes, but they also made me a guardian. The child we will conceive will not only be my revenge against the gods who betrayed me. He will be the new guardian when I can no longer contain them. And that moment draws near. Another tremor, stronger than the previous one, shakes the ground beneath our feet. A fissure snakes between the twisted roots of the trees. One of the oldest statues in the clearing, covered in moss and almost unrecognizable, begins to crack from within. Not because of the tremor, but because something seems to want to emerge from it. The Persians will arrive at dawn, Medusa warns, her voice now urgent. And they are the least of our problems if the Titans awaken. The ancient statue bursts into pieces. From within emerges a figure that is not stone, but flesh and bone. A youth with delicate features, yet the same inhuman golden eyes as Medusa. Mother, he says calmly, the seals are weakening. Soon it will be too late. Medusa turns to me, her expression now desperate. You have until dawn to decide, Alexandros. Join me, or doom the world. She dissolves into greenish mist along with the youth, leaving me alone in the clearing of statues. The vial throbs against my chest like a second heart. The words of Tiresias echo in my mind. Drink the blood of Pegasus. It will grant you immunity to her petrification. But now more is at stake. What if Medusa speaks the truth about the Titans? What if killing her means unleashing something worse? The moon begins its descent. Dawn approaches, and with it, my final decision. I seek refuge away from the clearing of statues, in a small hollow formed by the roots of an ancient tree. I need to think, weigh every word from both Tiresias and Medusa. The vial of Pegasus blood glows faintly in my hand. In the moonlight, the silvery liquid seems to hold dancing stars. who tells the truth? The aged oracle, or the monstrous beauty who spared my life? A crackle in the undergrowth alerts me. Instinctively, I hide the vial and grip my rusty knife. "Show yourself," I order the shadows. The youth who emerged from the statue steps between the trees. Now, under better light, I can study him closely. His face is beautiful, almost androgynous, with features faintly recalling Medusa, yet entirely human. Only his golden eyes with vertical pupils and a few greenish scales at his temples reveal his mixed nature. "My name is Ophion," he says, keeping a prudent distance. "And you, Alexandros, are the last of a long line of chosen ones." "What do you mean by chosen?" "Warriors of heroic blood, drawn to the forest at their most vulnerable moment," he replies, his voice soft yet laden with bitterness. "They all believed they were special. They all thought they would be different." "And you?" I begin to ask, though I think I know the answer. "I am the result of one of those encounters, the only child who has survived." He steps a little closer, cautious. The few scales on his skin gleam under the moonlight. "You have spoken with Tiresias," he states, not asks. "And he has given you Pegasus blood." Instinctively, I tighten the vial in my fist. "How do you know?" A sad smile crosses his face. "Because this is the 17th time he has done it. Tiresias, the great oracle, repeating his prophecy to each new candidate." This unsettles me. "Do you mean Tiresias works with Medusa? That it is a trap?" Ophion shakes his head. "Number. It is more complicated. Both have told you partial truths, mingled with manipulation." He sits on a rock a few steps from me. "Tiresias truly wants to destroy Medusa, and she truly needs a child with Perseus's blood. To contain the Titans? That is what she believes," he answers enigmatically. "The gods are masters of half-truths, Alexandros. They made her believe that her curse was also a sacred purpose, to contain the Titans beneath this forest." Another tremor, gentler than the previous ones, shakes the ground. "And is it not true?" I ask. "The Titans are imprisoned, yes, but it is not she who holds them." His golden eyes lock onto mine. "It is the statues. Every petrified soul, every warrior turned to stone, strengthens the seals that bind the primordials." This revelation hits me like a hammer. That is why she constantly needs new consorts. It is not for lust or power, but because the statues weaken over time, Ophion finishes. They erode, they crack, and with each one that crumbles, the seals grow weaker. "But you were not petrified," I observe. "You were inside a statue." A look of pain crosses his face. "Because I am different. Half human, half monster. My body cannot be fully petrified, so she locked me inside a hollow statue, a conscious prisoner for centuries. Why would she free you now?" "Because she needs me," he answers. "Because the tremors are becoming more frequent. The Titans awaken, with or without her intervention." I rise, processing all this information. "What will happen if I drink the blood of Pegasus?" "You will become immune to her petrifying gaze, temporarily. You could kill her, if that is what you wish." His eyes glow with restrained fire. "I myself would give you the weapon to do it." "Would you betray your own mother?" "Mother?" A bitter laugh escapes his lips. "She imprisoned me alive for centuries. She uses me as a pawn. She is not a mother. She is a jailer. But if she dies, the seals will weaken faster, yes. The Titans will emerge." He nods solemnly. "But they will emerge anyway. It is only a matter of time." "And then?" "Then we will have a chance to be free, all of us. Me, you, even the souls within the statues." He points toward the sky, where the moon is beginning to sink. "You have until dawn to decide. Drink the blood of Pegasus and face her as an equal, or surrender to her lie and become the next link in an endless chain of suffering." He rises to leave. "Why are you telling me all this?" I ask. "What do you gain?" He stops and looks at me over his shoulder. "I have lived 1,000 years within stone, Alexandros. Conscious, trapped, Hearing the silent screams of hundreds of petrified souls, there is no worse torment. With a fluid motion, he draws a dagger hidden beneath his clothes. It is no common weapon. The blade gleams with shifting hues, like liquid metal under moonlight. If you choose to face her, use this. It was forged from the same metal with which Perseus decapitated her the first time. He throws the dagger at my feet. It lands with a musical chime, embedding itself in the damp earth. How can I trust you? I ask. A sad smile crosses his face. You cannot, just as you cannot trust her or Tiresias. We are all prisoners in the gods' game, Alexandros. The only difference is that I have nothing left to lose. With those words, he vanishes among the trees, as silently as he appeared. I remain alone, the vial in one hand and the strange dagger in the other. Two paths, two weapons, two versions of the truth. The night presses on. Soon I must decide. The tremors intensify as the night deepens. From my hideout among the tree roots, I watch cracks forming in the forest floor. A sickly greenish glow seeps out, carrying an ancient heat that smells of sulfur and molten metal. The words of Ophion echo in my mind. What would happen if I killed Medusa? Would I unleash something worse than she is? Or is it yet another manipulation meant to keep me docile until dawn? A new tremor, more violent than the previous ones, shakes the entire forest. Ancient trees lean dangerously, and in the distance, I hear the crash of statues collapsing and shattering. I must show you something, says a voice behind me. It is Tiresias, the aged oracle, leaning on his gnarled staff. How did you find me? I ask, surprised. His white, sightless eyes seem to gaze straight through me. I need no eyes to see, son of Athens. Not here. He taps the ground with his staff. This entire forest is alive, aware. It is an extension of her, of Medusa, and of what lies beneath. He gestures for me to follow. Come, time is running out, and you must see the truth with your own eyes. I hesitate, but at last I rise and follow him. Ophion's dagger now hidden in my belt, the vial of Pegasus blood secure beneath my clothes. We walk in silence, the old man moving with surprising agility through the twisted forest. The tremors continue, growing ever more frequent. The ground beneath our feet feels hot, as though we tread on embers barely veiled by a thin layer of earth. We reach a part of the forest I have never seen before, a perfect, circular clearing where no vegetation grows. At its center yawns a black opening, like the mouth of a bottomless well. The well of the primordials, Tiresias proclaims, his voice solemn. The entrance to the titanic underworld. I step cautiously to the edge. There is no visible bottom, only endless darkness, yet something stirs in those depths, something vast, ancient, and incomprehensibly powerful. The Titans, I murmur. Not only them. Tiresias kneels beside the well. Something worse. The primordials that existed before the Titans. Entities so ancient, they lack a name in any human tongue. A searing heat rises from the well, mixed with the smell of molten metal and burnt flesh. What does Medusa have to do with this? I ask. When Perseus decapitated Medusa, the gods saw an opportunity. He runs his wrinkled fingers along the rim of the well, tracing invisible symbols. They needed a guardian for this place, someone powerful enough to contain what lies below, yet still controllable. So they revived her, I deduce. They bound her to this forest, making her the jailer of the primordials. He nods. A twisted punishment. They made her believe it was her new divine purpose, when in truth it was just another form of humiliation. But the statues, they are the true barriers. He points to the well's edge, where I notice for the first time tiny carved figures, worn by time, warriors frozen in miniature. Each man she petrifies strengthens the seals. But like everything in this world, with time they erode, they weaken. A new tremor, more violent than any before, shakes the clearing. A pulsating reddish glow rises from the well. They are awakening, Tiresias says, his voice now urgent. The arrival of a descendant of Perseus has accelerated the process. Why me? Why someone with the blood of Perseus? Because you are the key. His blind eyes seemed to look straight at me. Just as Perseus's blood killed her once, only someone with that same blood can finally break the cycle. Ophion said, Ophion? Tiresias visibly tenses. Have you spoken with him? He gave me this. I show the dagger of shifting metal. He said it could kill her. The old man takes the dagger with trembling hands. He examines it with his fingers, as though reading its surface. This is not just a dagger, he whispers. It is the key to the well itself, forged not to kill Medusa, but to seal for good the entrance to the world of the primordials. He looks at me with an intensity that seems to pierce through his blindness. Ophion does not wish to free you, Alexandros, nor does he seek freedom for himself. What he desires is to release what lies down there. Why would he do that? Because he is older than he appears. He is not just any child of Medusa. His hands tremble around the dagger. He is the firstborn, conceived when she was still human, before her transformation. He was the one who betrayed her to Poseidon, setting everything that followed in motion. This revelation leaves me speechless. Now you understand. Tiresias hands the dagger back to me. If you kill Medusa with this, you will not seal the well, you will open it completely. A distant roar, rising from the depths, shakes the very air. It is not a sound any mortal creature could produce. What should I do then? I ask, desperation swelling inside me. You have two options, Tiresias replies. Join Medusa, conceive a true heir who can maintain the seals when she no longer can. A guardian born of heroes' blood and monstrosity. Or, use the blood of Pegasus, not to kill her, but to resist her influence long enough to cast the dagger into the well. Seal the entrance forever. And what will happen to Medusa? She will be freed from her curse, mortal again. A sad smile crosses the old man's face. It is what she has always desired, though she would not admit it. And the statues? The trapped souls? They will remain so forever, a necessary sacrifice. Another tremor, toxic, greenish, thick vapors begin to rise from the well. The roar grows louder. Decide quickly, Alexandros, urges Tiresias. Dawn is coming, and with it, the Persians, and something far worse if the seal breaks completely. Suddenly, an unmistakable hissing fills the air, the serpents of Medusa. What do you think you're doing, old traitor? The Gorgon's voice resounds across the clearing as she emerges from the shadows, her beauty utterly transformed by fury. Her scales gleam under the waning moonlight, her claws extended. Revealing truths you have hidden for far too long, replies Tiresias, unafraid. Truths? Medusa laughs, a sound as cold as cracking ice. Did you tell him it was you who betrayed me to the gods? That your prophecies are merely attempts to manipulate fate for your own selfish ends? We both serve purposes greater than ourselves, Tiresias answers. But only one of us accepts his responsibility. Medusa turns toward me, her eyes shining dangerously. Choose, Alexandros, now with me or with him. I feel the vial of Pegasus blood pulsing against my chest. The dagger weighs heavy in my hand. A third presence materializes in the clearing. Ophion, slipping from the shadows like a silent predator. Or you can choose a different path, he says. Free all the prisoners, including the souls in the statues. A triad of options. 3 diverging paths. 3 versions of the truth. The well emits a deafening roar, and the earth quakes violently. It is time to decide. The decision crystallizes in my mind with overwhelming clarity. I trust none of them. Each harbors an agenda, lies, half-truths. With a swift motion, I unstopper the vial of Pegasus blood and drink half its contents. The silvery liquid burns as it descends my throat, like molten metal. I fall to my knees while the power races through my veins, transforming my blood, strengthening the legacy of Perseus already within me. Medusa recoils, alarmed. What have you done? I rise, feeling the power of the celestial blood merging with the Gorgon essence already coursing through my veins. My hands glow with a dual radiance, Medusa's green and Pegasus's silver. What none of you expected, I answer. I hurl the rest of the vial's contents straight into Ophion's eyes. He screams, toppling backward as the silvery liquid burns his serpentine skin. His human disguise melts away, revealing scales and claws far more prominent than Medusa's. "Traitor!" he roars, his voice now inhuman, ancient. Medusa watches wide-eyed as her son writhes on the ground, becoming less human with every passing second. "What is he really?" I ask, brandishing the dagger. Tiresias answers, his voice grave. "A primordial, a fragment of the entities imprisoned beneath the well that escaped millennia ago. He has been manipulating us all, waiting for his chance." Ophion convulses, his form now barely humanoid. Black scales cloak his body, his limbs lengthen into impossible appendages. His eyes, once golden, are now pits of absolute darkness. "You are cleverer than I expected, Athenian," he hisses, his voice seeming to emerge from multiple throats at once. But it is already too late. With impossibly swift motion, he lunges toward the well and leaps inside. His laughter echoes in the depths, mingling with the rising roar of the primordials. The ground cracks across the clearing. A column of greenish energy erupts from the well, shooting into the night sky. "The seals are breaking!" Tiresias shouts. "We must act now!" Medusa turns to me, her expression transformed. No seduction, no threat, only genuine desperation. "I never wanted this," she confesses. "I only wanted freedom." "We can still stop him," I say, offering her the dagger. Together. She hesitates only an instant before taking the blade. Our hands touch, and a current of energy arcs where our mingled blood recognizes its common origin. "We need a sacrifice," explains Tiresias. "Gorgon blood and hero blood mixed willingly." Medusa and I look at one another, understanding what must be done. "There is no time to conceive an heir," she says with resignation. "But our blood is already mixed in you, Alexandros." I grasp her plan at once. "I will not survive," I warn. "None of us will if we fail," she replies. A new tremor, so violent it throws us to the ground, rips through the forest. The entire wood seems to be collapsing. In the distance I hear screams. Persians at the forest's edge, caught in the chaos. Medusa takes the dagger and draws a cut across her palm, then offers it to me. "The final seal," she says, blood willingly shed. I mimic her gesture, slicing my own palm. We press our bleeding hands together, the pain sharp and immediate, yet accompanied by something else. A connection, an understanding beyond words. In her eyes I see millennia of loneliness, fury, regret. She sees in mine the pain of betrayal, loss, the longing for redemption. "Now," Tiresias instructs, "to the well." We step to the brink, hands still joined. The mingled blood drips into the abyss, each drop glowing before vanishing into darkness. "I hate them," Medusa whispers. And I know she means the gods. But I hate more what lies down there. The roar from the depths intensifies. Something enormous nears the surface. The monstrous shape of Ophion rises partway, now a mass of tentacles and impossible jaws. His countless eyes regard us with cosmic hatred. "You cannot stop the inevitable," he bellows in overlapping voices. "The primordials ruled before the titans, before the gods. We will rule again." "Not today," I reply, with a silently agreed-upon motion. Medusa and I leap together into the well, the dagger gripped between our joined hands. The fall feels eternal. Around us, impossible shapes writhe in the darkness, trying to catch us. The heat is unbearable, the pressure crushing. But we do not let go of the dagger. We do not let go of each other. When we strike something solid in the depths, we drive the blade into the hilt. A scream that does not belong to this world, shakes all of reality. Time stops. Space compresses. I see Medusa's life unfold before my eyes, her existence as a priestess, the betrayal, the curse, millennia of solitude and fury. She sees mine, my childhood in Athens, my rise as a warrior, my fall at Salamis, the Persian tortures. In that moment, we are one, neither hero nor monster. A blinding light erupts from the point where the dagger has struck. It expands, consuming everything in its path. The last thing I feel is Medusa's hand squeezing mine as the light envelops us. I open my eyes at dawn. I lie in an olive field, the morning dew moistening my skin. Beside me, A woman of overwhelming beauty sleeps peacefully. Her hair, black and wavy, spreads over the grass. Human hair, not serpents. Medusa. Human again. I sit up, disoriented. The forest is gone. There is no trace of the well, of Ophion, of Tiresias, or of the statues. Only the two of us, in an olive field on the outskirts of what seems to be Athens, visible in the distance. Medusa opens her eyes. They are no longer golden with vertical pupils, but a deep green, completely human. We gaze at each other in silence, processing what has happened. "It worked," she finally whispers. "We're alive," I answer, equally astonished. She sits up, examining her hands, her arms. No scales, only human skin. "Free," she murmurs, tears forming in her eyes. "After so long." I try to rise, but a sharp pain shoots through me. I look to my chest. There, a silvery scar rimmed in green now lies above my heart. "The price," Medusa explains, touching the scar lightly. "You are the living seal now." I understand at once. I can feel it, the power contained within me. The prison of the primordials has not vanished. It has merely changed form. It resides inside me, upheld by our mingled blood. "How long?" I ask. "I do not know," she answers honestly. "No one has ever done this before." A distant cry draws our attention. On the horizon, columns of smoke rise. The Persians have reached Athens' borders. "Your city needs you," Medusa says, standing. She wears a simple white tunic, no longer the supernatural creature I knew, but a mortal woman of extraordinary beauty. "Come with me," I say, extending my hand. She hesitates, her deep green eyes studying the smoking skyline. "I do not belong to that world, Alexandros. Not after all I have been." "You are what you choose to be now," I reply. "As am I." A tingling spreads across my chest, where the scar that holds the primordials pulses with every heartbeat. With each step I sense how my body has changed. Superhuman strength remains, yet under my control. "If I go with you," she says at last, "what will I be to your people? An outsider? A reformed monster?" "You will be the one who saved Athens," I answer, "and the one who saved me." We walk together toward the city, where Persian torches ring the walls. I feel new power coursing through my veins, ready to be unleashed. The scar beneath my tunic glows faintly, a constant reminder of the prison I now bear. "How long?" Medusa asks again, glancing at my chest. "Long enough," I reply. "Long enough to save Athens, to live. Perhaps even to find a worthy heir when the time comes." A sad smile crosses her lips. "There is always a price for defying the gods. And there is always a way forward," I add, taking her hand. As we approach the walls, the Athenian guards watch us in astonishment from the battlements. In the distance, the Persians arrange their lines for the final assault. "Are you ready to become a legend?" Medusa asks. I feel the power of the primordials locked inside me, contained, yet reachable. A power I will use to protect, not to destroy. "We already are," I reply, as my eyes begin to shine with a silver and green glow. "The warrior and the Gorgon, neither heroes nor monsters." With those words, we advance toward the gates of Athens, where a new destiny awaits us. The prison I carry within me will be my burden, but also my gift, an eternal reminder that the best prisons are those we choose willingly for a good greater than ourselves. The Persians draw near, unaware they are about to face something more than a simple Athenian army, something born of the blood of hero and monstrosity, a perfect balance, a new beginning. And as the gates of Athens open to receive us, I understand that my escape from Persian chains led me to a destiny far greater than I could have imagined. I not only escaped the Persians, but found something many seek and few ever find: redemption.